You're making 7 mistakes. Think about it. 1/12 of this year is already done. It's over. We are here, first week of February. What have you changed? What have you done? Where are you in your business? Are you significantly better? Are you significantly ahead of your competition? Are you really better than you were last year? Because friends, I have news for you. If you just stay still, everybody else who is doing better than you is going to pass you. And it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you opportunity, it's going to cost you listings, it's going to cost you sanity. It's stressful. I've been there. So we need to fix it. You're making 7 mistakes. One more of these I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you where you're screwing up. Maybe you don't even know it. Somebody's got to tell you the truth. Take this, please, as a wake-up call. Use this video as an opportunity for you to get a little smack in the head to wake up. Because if I don't tell you the truth, if your buddy Borino doesn't tell you the truth, who will? Where are you going to get the help? Your competition won't do it. The coaches who never sold a house in their life won't do it. Who's going to do it? I have to do it. That's my response. That's my duty to you, my obligation to be honest with you and to tell you the truth, damn it. So here's the truth number 1. You're fucking up. If you don't have $15,000, $20,000 at your disposal, if you cannot buy a great income property this week, if a great opportunity comes, if you're not driving the car you like, if you don't live in the house where you want to be, if you haven't taken your family on vacation in the last 3 months to a nice place, you are fucking it up. And that's the truth. And I mean it with love, and I mean it with desire to help you. But we need to start with the truth. And that's the truth. So stop. I'm going to give you 7 places, but you got to be honest. You got to say, yes, that's me. Yes, let's fix it. And I'll give you tips how you can fix it. I even have an invitation. We open the doors to the bootcamp, to the Listing Mastery Bootcamp today. I would love for you to join me because we can do it very quickly. I'm good at that. I'm not good at many things, but I can take an agent and turn him into a really good listing agent. I have students who do it all day long. My student Anna came on board very recently, last month, 2 good listings. Just starting out, you can do the same. So let's go to it. Problem number 1 you're running into. You don't have enough appointments. That's where you're screwing up. You don't have enough listing appointments. I mean, think about it this way. Agent John has 4 appointments in February, 4 listing appointments, 1 a week. Agent Susie has 1 listing appointment this week. Who do you think is better off? Now you say, duh, Borino, of course, but think about it this way. Do you think that Susie will behave, present, and be willing to take that listing at any price, under any conditions, in most cases, than John? Your listing presentation, your behavior, your communication is very different if that's the only listing appointment you have this month, as opposed to having 4. And if the seller is a dick, if they're difficult, if they're unreasonable, if they demand, overprice the property, cut your commission, do all those things, you simply smile, stand up and say, thank you so much for your time. I don't think I can help you. Goodbye. And you're out of there. Subconsciously, you're going to be a lot more needier, stressed, worried, and desperate to get that listing. True or false? Be honest. You know how I know that? I was that guy. I've been there. I can relate to it, but we need to fix it in order for you to really grow your business, make money, serve your community, serve clients, and have the freedom and the lifestyle you want. So that means the way you fix this is you got to step up your lead generation and your follow-up. That's the answer. Set up 3, 4 good lead generation funnels and work them like a mofo every day, 3, 4 hours. It's not an easy fix, but it's a simple fix. All right? Number 2, you're willing to take overpriced listings. Why? Because you're needy, you're desperate. You want that listing more. You want that listing more than the seller wants to sell. Your motivation is higher than the seller's. And you're willing to take concessions. Think about it. There is only one price, and one price only, that causes a listing to sell. True or false? Only one. And if the seller says, yeah, we hear you, there was a good CMA, there was a very good presentation, we want 50,000 more. What are they telling you? One of two things. If it doesn't sell, it's no big deal, or they don't believe you, you don't have enough authority, or the information you presented didn't resonate with them. Nobody wins if you take an overpriced listing. It is one of the biggest crimes. It is one of my missions of my career to bring the light into this industry by you deserving your clients by taking overpriced listings. You're doing a huge disservice. Why? Because you're misleading them. But I told them that the property is overpriced. Who do you think they blame 2 months later when the thing is still sitting there? Who do you think is the guilty one? But the seller picked the price. That's the problem. It's not up to the seller. It is up to you to deliver a very good listing presentation, pre-listing package, walk them through the 7-step process so when you are presenting to them, it is clear and obvious you have their best interests at heart, you have good connection rapport with them, you have status and authority, but you also have a CMA that makes perfect sense to them. Where there is no we want our price, there is no we want more, there is no Joe down the street told us this and that. None of that matters. There is only one number and one price. Because if you overprice the property, the seller loses. Nobody wins. Seller cannot move. They can't sell. Now they're stuck. Now they're pissed. Guess who they're pissed off? You. Number two, you don't get paid. You work your ass off. Now you're stressed. Now you worry about the price reduction. That's going to go really well. If the problem was the listing presentation, how well do you think the price reduction is going to go? Number three, the buyer's agent cannot sell the property. They can't get paid. The buyer cannot buy the property. Nobody wins. Everybody's just sitting there because you couldn't clearly and effectively communicate to the seller that seller doesn't control the price. This is what the price needs to be in order for them to sell. Are you with me? Does that make sense? Do not ever overprice the listings. You don't have to. And now that high price is already anchored in the seller's mind. So when you reduce it in their mind, what they're really doing is losing money. You heard that term. They're not losing anything. It was too unrealistic to begin with, but now you preset, you anchored a certain high price. Don't do that. You don't have to. In my listing bootcamp, I will teach you how you can avoid that. None of that is necessary. But the process doesn't start when you sit down and you actually go through the numbers. It starts way before that. It's a process, 7 steps. Make sense? All right. So do not overprice listings. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting the seller. Please don't. Stop. Stop. Number 3. Winging it. You're winging it. When was the last time? Be honest with me. Seriously, be honest. When was the last time you actually practiced your listing presentation? I'll tell you when. If you're like me, you're busy, you have a million things to do, you're prospecting, you're following up, you have a life to live, you have a business to run, you have a spouse, you have kids, you have all these things on your mind. You're not going to sit down for an hour to really practice a good listing presentation every day. You practice when you sit down with the seller. Right? So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Presentation is prepared, pre-listing package delivered. You know what you're talking about. You know everything there is to know about the neighborhood. You know everything there is to know, important stuff about the house, about the seller. They've been pre-qualified. You know they're motivated. Can't be winging it. Number 4, you're talking to the non-motivated sellers. Your prospects are not motivated. They have no high urgency. You have higher urgency to take the listing that they have to move. And you think that somehow through some clever lines, some sales script, some pushy tactics, and some manipulation, you're going to motivate them. You want that business and that commission more. It's more important to you than to them it is to sell and move. You either missed something in the process, or they were never qualified to begin with, or maybe something changed in their scenario. And you either missed it, or most often, you don't want to hear it. Hope, 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 hope. You must be sitting in front of sellers who have urgency, who have a timeline, who are realistic, who really want your service, who want to move, who would benefit, who have a problem that will be solved by selling the property and living somewhere else. Number 5, your presentation is too complicated. Too complicated. Your CMA has too many data points. There are too many graphs, too many pictures. Too many opportunities for the seller's mind to lock in, wander, and start going into, well, our house is better, our house is special, we're going to get more. We can always go with Joe down the street. It's too complicated. You overload them. And you're hoping that providing more data will help them see will help them list it at a reasonable price. You rely on the data, you rely on the actual CMA rather than your skill and your ability to communicate and present well. And that's why you're going to get deflections and blocks and delays like, we got to sleep on it, we're going to think about it, we'll get back to you, we have more agents to interview. That's nothing else but their croc brain reacting to the overload. It's a neurobiological reaction. That's why it's so important to have a well-prepared, if you come join us, I would love for you to join us and do the listing bootcamp with me. We're starting next week. You're going to get a listing presentation that's smooth, that's flowing. It's not even a presentation, it's a conversation. So evaluate what you're doing. Number 6, your presentation is too long. You spend too much time there. It's too long. There is scientific data. There have been many, many studies done, and my own experience. The moment I cut my listing presentation to 30 minutes, I got more listings. Go figure. It has to do, again, with neurobiology. Everything I teach you guys is not just my opinion, not stuff I pull out of my ass. This is not rectal extraction opinion. This is data. This is solid data based on my experience of doing this for over 20 years and based on research I've done on this stuff by people who really know what they're talking about. Our brain is wired with data input that lasts about 20 to 25 minutes. After about 25 minutes, you're going to start losing sellers. That's why I keep these lives, and that's why I have this giant clock here. Can you see it? Where is it? Let me put it in the shot. Because I know that after about 25 minutes, I'm going to start losing you. Not because you're not smart. You're super smart. Not because you're not hungry for information. You are. It has to do with neurobiology. You're going to overload them, and something so complex and so difficult as selling a house, their brain is working at high RPMs to begin with. You got to have a short listing presentation. You got to put that relevant information in a package of about 30 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to start losing listings. You're going to get brushes, delays, objections. That's the reason. Not because you're a bad agent, not because you don't mean well. Of course you want to help them. Of course you're coming from the right place. But you need to know these rules. You need to know these principles. That's why I teach. That's my job. Number 7, you don't have a system. It's not a step-by-step system. You don't have a system what happens before your listing presentation. You don't have a system what happens during listing presentation. And you don't have a system what happens after listing presentation. It's all just kind of going back to it. You're winging it. Which means you don't have control. And if you're really honest and if you evaluate your listing presentation and you look back, you're going to pinpoint precisely when the presentation got derailed, when it just started to disintegrate, started to fall apart, when the seller grabbed control. Sometimes it's a reaction because they lose trust in you or because the trust was not there in the first place. Sometimes because they may question your capacity, your competence, or you were out of rapport with them, or they felt that you became needy and desperate, or you became too pushy and too aggressive, you lost contact, you lost connection. That's because it's no system-based. See, rock stars, agents I train, and I have some who do 70, 80, 100 listings. You saw the interview with Mike Cribbin, who's going to do 50 listings this year. We've taken 3 months off. You saw Jessica, a couple weeks in the new area, already listed a $1 million property. I have a student, Anna, 2 listings last month, new agent, new to my system. It's not that they're such geniuses. They're beautiful people and they come from the heart. They work hard, of course, just like you. But the difference is they have a system. They learn certain skills that I teach and they follow a system. You can do the same. Here it is. Flip it. They have enough appointments. They price their listings right. They're not winging it. They work with motivated sellers. There are plenty of them out there. Don't buy into this bullshit. It's a simple system. Now, not simplistic, where the seller feels insulted like you talk to them like they're 5-year-old. But it needs to be simple. It's about 30 minutes, and it's a system. You can't leave this to, they cannot leave something so important as listing a house to chance. So come join me. It's a 30-day program. You get all the materials from me. We're going to start next week. We're starting on Thursday. These are live sessions. It's a 90-minute session. We're going to spend 90 minutes every week together. So that's my invitation today. Hope this was helpful, guys. I'll post this as a replay. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Would love to help you. Would love to see how I can turn you into a listing rockstar. Thanks for being here today. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Bye.